So hi everybody, I am going live, an impromptu live for the first time in a long time on all of my channels. I'm streaming live on YouTube, on Facebook, and on X, and you can place comments and I can read them. And I want to do an impromptu live because I want to go a little bit deeper into the recent developments of Mark Zuckerberg saying that he was pressured by the Biden administration to basically hide the truth about certain side effects from the jab. I don't even know if I can say that word here on YouTube. uh, Maybe I already can say it on Facebook, but and this is I will go a little bit deeper into this because I think this is part of a psyop. They are trying to change their gears here, and they are trying to sell big tech to us as like some kind of new savior. And I will go a little bit deeper into this. So this was done on the Joe Rogan podcast, and I will show you some clips of the Joe Rogan podcast here. And in my opinion, this like 180 he does, it's not how would I say this? It's not done with integrity at all. Like these people, like Joe Rogan, he's softballing all these big tech players. Like Peter Thiel. He had Peter Thiel on his show, and Peter Thiel is a member of the steering committee of the Bilderberg Group, and he never questioned Peter Thiel about that. Peter Thiel is, amongst other things, one of the co-founders of PayPal with Elon Musk. He has a company called Palantir, who is basically in bed with the CIA, who is basically a CIA creation. And Joe Rogan never pushed himself on that. And now that Zuckerberg was on the Joe Rogan show, he really softballed. He was really soft on Mark Zuckerberg. Like, in my opinion, if Joe Rogan pretends to be like this new alternative movement who is forced free speech and against woke, and he was so soft on Zuckerberg. I mean, he's standing there with Zuckerberg. Let me bring it up, guys. So this is live, so it might go a little bit slower. Wait, let me see if I have the exact screen here. Just let me bring it up. So he's standing there with Joe Rogan, just like their buddies. So here it is. So if you're really somebody pretending to be pro free speech and pro freedom, you are gonna be really hard on Zuckerberg, because Zuckerberg is actually a traitor to the humanity, a traitor to the US, because he censored on behalf of the Biden administration, and even before the Biden administration, he censored big time, on behalf of big tech, on behalf of the elite, or whatever you want to call it. So the fact that this guy is now hailed as some new hero because he's exposing the Biden administration, it's just ridiculous beyond words. And I feel a psyop coming in, actually, because they are what matters is not what they do, but how the public sees it. And they're trying to change his image and the perception on the eye of the public. Politicians know this, spin doctors know this. Perception is everything. Perception is everything. If you can control people's perception, you control people's reality. And that's what they're trying to do here. And I want to go a little bit deeper into the connections of Mark Zuckerberg, with the military-industrial complex, basically, with the deep state, because he's saying, oh, Biden pressured me into doing this, but he's deeply connected to the deep state, and in my opinion, he still is. There's a psyop going on here. So let me go a little bit deeper into that. A lot of people don't know this, but the Facebook was supposedly created by Mark Zuckerberg, at university, because he wanted to have like a social network, to pick up girls. That's like the official story. Mark Zuckerberg, the T-shirt guy. But what a lot of people don't know is actually that Facebook is deeply connected to the Pentagon, to DARPA, and DARPA is the Defense Advanced Research Project Agency. Is basically the high military technology arm of the Pentagon, where they create high military technology. And DARPA has created the internet. Before we had the internet, we had ARPANET. DARPA has created GPS. DARPA has created touchstones, touch screens, which are used in our phones. DARPA has created the mRNA technology, which is used in the COVID jabs. All of that is created by DARPA. And what people don't know is that Facebook is actually also created by DARPA. And there is a lot of, a lot of evidence that points toward that fact. So DARPA had a project called LifeLock, and LifeLock was part of the Total Information Awareness Office thing, as you see here, with this creepy Illuminati pyramid shining down on the earth. And DARPA LifeLock, and I'm showing it here from Wikipedia, DARPA LifeLock was a project to amass a lot of information about, citizens. It was basically a very dystopian Big Brother type of project, and it was cancelled because there was so much, it leaked out, and there was so much backlash towards it. And so what they wanted to do with LifeLock is to, and listen carefully here, they wanted to have a system that was able, and I'm going to highlight it here, to able to trace the threads of an individual's life in terms of events, states, and relationships. Now, what does that sound like? Facebook, right? Because on Facebook, people post, I'm in a new relationship. People post their events. People post their pictures. People post where they have been. So it was basically, a gathering program to know everything about a person's life. So what happened is they shelved that program. But on the same day they shelved that program, Facebook was started. I mean, it can't be more symbolic, right? So here you see the LifeLock program was cancelled on February 4th, 2004, after criticisms concerning the privacy implications of the system. Now, if you go on internet and you search the start date of Facebook, let me just do it live for you guys here. Let's ask Google start date of Facebook. February 4th, 2004. The exact same date Facebook was launched. So, this is not a coincidence. And why I'm sure it's not a coincidence is because DARPA has a long-standing, and DARPA and Facebook have a long-standing relationship with each other. Facebook had a secret lab called Building 8 where they tested new technology like brain scanning and stuff like that, which was headed by Regina Dugan. And Regina Dugan is a former head of DARPA. She was former manager of DARPA before she went to Facebook and headed Building 8, the secret research lab of Facebook. So there's all kinds of other people, lesser known. Regina Dugan is the most famous one, that moved from DARPA to Facebook from the Pentagon and vice versa. That's always the case with big tech. For example, Eric Schmidt, the former head of Google, who is now involved in the Bilderberg, is now also a director at the Pentagon. So it's like, it's like with the pharmaceutical industry too. They just change positions, and it's basically that same clique. They go from the pharma industry to the big tech to the military industrial complex, basically the deep state, as you would call it, and back and forth. And Regina Dugan did the same thing. So I don't believe for a second, and the data shows it, that Facebook was started by Mark Zuckerberg because it was his idea. No, they took that. They were very smart actually about it. They took that LifeLock project, they shelved it, and then they made it flashy. They made it social media. Social media is created by the deep state. Social media is created by these people that want to trace everything they want to know about us. And people, the worst thing of all is people do it voluntarily. They post on Facebook, I'm going on vacation, I'm going there, I have a new relationship. They have so much information on us through Facebook. It's crazy. And we do it ourselves. They're actually very smart. They made it flashy, with likes, and you're seen on social media. That's how they did it. So the deep state, these big tech companies are behind this. So that's why I don't believe for a second that somebody like Mark Zuckerberg is exposing the Biden administration now. It's just ridiculous. And then you see on Twitter this ridiculous post. I mean, I saw this on Twitter today. Mark Zuckerberg exposes the Biden administration for pressuring Facebook into censoring posts on vaccine side effects. I mean, this stuff makes my toes curl. This is ridiculous. This is how they spin it. And this is from Benny Johnson, an account with 3.3 million followers on X, who is, sponsored and quoted by Musk, because if Musk, quotes you, he cites you, he reposts your post, you get boosted so much by the X algorithm. So this is the naivete, or even the psyop. Maybe it's not even naivete. Maybe it's just pure psyop what this guy is doing, spinning it like Mark Zuckerberg is the hero, and he's exposing that the Biden administration pressured him. No, what is actually happening? This is typical spin doctorism. What we have to realize is that Mark Zuckerberg doesn't expose anything. On the contrary, Mark Zuckerberg is a person that is and from the deep state. He censored all this information about the side effect of the jabs. He basically played into their game. Why? Because he's a system agent. He's a puppet. That's what he is. And trying to spin it as he now exposes the Biden administration. It's too crazy for us. If you believe this, if you call yourself awake and you're part of the, you consider yourself part of the alternative media, or the alternative people that are for freedom, and you fall for this, sorry, but then you are completely naive, in my opinion. Then they can sell you anything. Then they can sell you basically that Bill Gates goes on there, and Bill Gates says, I'm very sorry, I didn't know that there were a little bit of side effects, to the jabs. It's absolutely insane, and it's a spin doctrine, and it's a psyop, in my opinion. And why is it a psyop? In my opinion, to make big tech look like the good guy. And it's happening with Musk, and I don't like Musk either, as I've stated many times in the past. And now it's happening like with Mark Zuckerberg. Now Musk is the savior of free speech, supposedly on X, which is not really free speech. It has freedom of speech, but not freedom of reach. That's an important caveat, because if you say what they don't like, then they lessen your reach. So it's weird that both Musk and Zuckerberg are now brought to the fore, and presented as these guys who are helping free speech now. Oh, Musk is allowing free speech on Twitter. Oh, Mark Zuckerberg is exposing the Biden administration, like they say in this stupid tweet here. This in my opinion is a psyop to make big tech look like these billionaire big tech guys. Mark Zuckerberg, when he was doing that interview, he was wearing a $1 million watch. That's like what a regular normal American citizen makes in 20 years. So it's absolutely ridiculous. If and some people fall for this because they see Zuckerberg is the good guy now. It's absolutely insane. And why is it? Because they want to sell transhumanism. Because these big tech companies, at the head, they are headed by people who believe in transhumanism. And of course, with the elites behind them, they believe in transhumanism, and they want to go into transhumanism. And transhumanism, was launched by Julian Huxley, who was not coincidentally the brother of Aldous Huxley, who wrote the book 1984 and Big Brother and stuff like that. And transhumanism is basically that they want to take over the evolution of man through technological means. Basically to make cyborgs of us, to implant chips in us. And in my opinion, that's why I think they're doing the shift now to make big tech look like the good guys. Because the end goal is transhumanism. I'm totally convinced of that. The end goal is trying to get technology, not only, wearables or like smartwatches, but also to get it inside of the body, which is basically what Musk is doing through his company Neuralink. So I think there's this kind of psyop going on where we're going to forget it, we're going to spin it, we're going to say Mark Zuckerberg exposes the Biden administration now, which is ridiculous. But the end goal is transhumanism. And both Meta, the Facebook, which is called Meta now, because they're planning on bringing the metaverse forward. Facebook was rebranded as Meta. Like the name of the company was changed, which shows that they are really pushing towards this. Because the metaverse is like this digital world in which they want to, draw humans in, this transhumanist digital fake reality. And basically, X is the same thing, because Musk admitted it. He tweeted that, and I don't have this, I can't pull up this tweet now, but he tweeted basically that X is the future collective consciousness of humanity. So in the long term, they want to win you over to sell transhumanism. And, talking about Regina Dugan, I'm going to play you a clip here of Regina Dugan, which was former head of Facebook's Building 8 research lab, how she talks about, implanting chips. And this is from 10 years ago. Let me play this clip here. This is Regina Dugan, who worked for Facebook.
Like to hold it?
I'll hold it.
Okay. So,
You guys see it?
this pill has a small chip inside of it with a switch. It also has what amounts to an inside-out potato battery. When you swallow it, the acids in your stomach serve as the electrolyte.
That's what they do.
And they power it up, and the switch goes on and off. And it creates an 18-bit ECG-like signal in your body, and essentially your entire body becomes your authentication token. Yes, this is true. Okay?
Okay, but...
Okay, so wait. So it's really true. So what this means is that becomes my first superpower. I really want this superpower. It means that my arms are like wires, my hands are like alligator clips. When I touch my phone, my computer, my door, my car, I'm authenticated in. First superpower. Like, I want that.
So we're not shipping that right away.
Yeah, no.
See, so this is transhumanism. She sells it, if you put a chip in your body, you're gonna have a superpower. It's absolutely ridiculous. And these are the people that are behind it. So this is why this is why also Rogan is softballing him, because Rogan is also, he has transhumanist ideas. I mean, I could pull up a clip here, but I didn't prepare it now. But Rogan said on his show, he believes, that we gonna have to upload our consciousness into the cloud, which is basically transhumanism, which is what Musk's believe, which is what all these transhumanism people that work at Google believe, the top at least. So this is why they want to sell it. They have to find a way to capture as many people as possible into their net and into support for them. And they know that people are waking up, so they're trying to change their tune. They're just trying to play into what is most convenient for them. And they may release a little bit of truth, but it's important for them that you perceive these big tech guys as good guys, because these big tech people want to draw you into transhumanism. That's why they want you, the elites want you to see those big tech people as good guys, and that's what they're trying to spin here. I mean, going back to this tweet again, I mean, it's just crazily the naivete of this, Mark Zuckerberg exposes Biden. It's insane. He was, a collaborator, a traitor. And Joe Rogan shouldn't have softballed him. If Joe Rogan would have been a real, proponent of freedom, he would have asked the hard questions like, "What did you do that? Why did you have no backbone? Why did you stand up for free speech then, when it mattered the most, when freedom was under attack, like other people have done, who really stood up for it?" So it's absolutely ridiculous. So this concludes this live, and I see a few people here. Louise says, "Good morning." Where are you from, Louise? Because if it's morning for you, I think you must be like from Canada or the States or something. Larry Hansen says, "Hello from Alberta." Hello, Larry. Nice to see you live. And my wife, Meg. Hi, baby. She's here too. She's downstairs. So thanks for watching. If you like my content, please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. This was an impromptu live, just out of the blue. I just wanted to do it a quick one. I may do, more of these in the future, just impromptu lives on all my channels. So thank you everybody for watching, and I'll see you on another video pretty soon. Bye-bye.